What is up, YouTube? It is I, Clutch Marles, and I'm back. And you know what? Today we're going to be talking about hustling, grinding, and how to make money doing demolition derby or the other things that you love. Here we go. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. It's a Ford Taurus, get it? My first time painting an animal. I think I did pretty good. Here we go. Number one, we have the Ford Taurus. It is junk. It is filled full of junk. And we're going to haul it off to the scrapyard. I see tons of people just stacking, 50, 60 pre-ran cars that are completely destroyed, like out in a field behind their house. Like, what are you doing with them? I get it right now. Scrap is, I think around me, it's maybe 200 a ton. And, I've seen it like 3 something, or I feel like high 200s. Like, this car is probably going to pull between $200 and $300 across the scales. I paid nothing for the car. Someone donated it and gave it to me. So guess what? I'm making money there because, free car. And then, we got half of a Blizzard Bash car. So yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe if you have a feeling that scrap prices are going to go up, you could sit on it for a while, but don't just let them just sit and rot, because then it just turns into rust and then it doesn't weigh anything. So I talked to a guy at the local scrapyard. So, for example, let's say it is $200 a ton for a car. I have taken them cars after a derby, completely gutted, no dash, no windows, nothing in it. I pull my cage out, I pull the engine, transmission, I pull the tires off. They're paying me $200 a ton. And then I got that wrecked Ford Focus or whatever. It had the driver's side. I bought it from a friend to haul to the scrapyard just because they didn't have a means to do it. So I'm like, I will give you scrap price and I will haul it in. So that car had all the windows in it, had all the interior, everything. It was stock. Everything was in it. Engine, transmission, gas tank. They paid me $200 a ton. So they're paying me the same amount for a car that's completely clean as a car that's, got all the interior and shit. So what we usually do is I'll take the interior if I'm building multiple cars at once, or I have a pre-ran that's going to scrap, and I will put all the interior into a car that's getting ready for scrap. Because if they're paying me the same price for what would be, I consider, a dirty car versus a clean car, guess what? I'm going to put all the windshield and windows back in it. Here I am trying to make a damn YouTube video. Oh, buddy's driving backwards. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so if you're going to pay me the same price for a car with all the interior versus a car that's completely gutted, I'm going to put the interior back in it. And, recently they've started a deal where if they're paying $200 for a car, they're going to pay you $180 if you leave the gas tank underneath it. So guess what? Take the gas tank out, take the fuel pump out, so there's a big hole, so when they smash it, it don't explode. There's $20 or whatever. Little things like that, it adds up. Let's go to the next one. Okay, here's a windshield and a dash that are going to go in the Taurus as soon as I got all the wires out of the dash. So I strip cars for myself. I strip cars for other people. Stripping cars, looky, Mason, it's ready for you. Stripping cars, it's easy. If you're building derby cars, you know how to take them apart. So you just come up with the price that you think your time is worth, people often message me and they say, hey, what do you charge to strip a car? And I know if it's a derby driver that doesn't have time and they want me to strip their car, or if it's someone trying to figure out their own prices. And if you're trying to figure out your own prices, you know what my answer is? As much as I can. You know, it all depends what you want done. I can completely strip a car, or I can build you a turnkey car ready to go. It's all in your price range. Whatever you want to work out. I just stripped a 93 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. He wanted the full interior gutted, the windows. He wanted nothing underneath the hood touched. He was going to pull the engine, put his own in. So, you know, I worked him out a price for that. But all these cars that I'm stripping, I'm just taking the wires and I'm cutting them. I know a lot of people, I've talked to guys who, when they strip a car, they leave the wires in it. When they scrap it, they leave the wires in it. Like this trash can here, when it's completely full, that's like 50 to 100 bucks, depending on what the price is. Now, I got buddies that work at the scrapyard. I used to sit around and cut all the ends off these. And for example, I don't know the current price. Let's say he was paying me $1.50 a pound and I was cutting all the plugs off. Well, it was getting close to like Blizzard Bash last year. I didn't have the time to sit around and cut all the plugs off. I had like 4 trash cans full. And I messaged him and I'm like, hey, what are you guys gonna pay me if I leave all the plugs on? And he's like, $1.50 a pound. And I was like, it's the same price if I take the plugs off or if I don't. Like, I'm leaving the plugs on. That's more weight. So, you know, if you're building cars, save your wires. Like, it's worth money. Everything about this, you know, you take off, it's worth something to somebody. Let's go to the next one. Damn near every car you buy nowadays, it's going to have aluminum rims. And depending on your location in the United States, you know, I've seen aluminum rims go for $10 a tire or a rim to $20, you know, if you got the tire off. It all depends on where you live. But if your car comes with 4 of them, you know, that's $40 to $100. No, 80. $40 to $80. And you know, you're not derbying with these on. You know, you're gonna put mud tires on anyway. You might as well make some money. Here is a 4.6 engine and transmission out of a Lincoln Town Car. Now, if you're doing full-size cars, you know, majority of the time you're building a Ford, it's going to come with a 4.6. There's people across the country that are going to buy this engine transmission just for the, you know, I don't know what they're doing with them. They're parting them out, something. But they're giving between $100 and $200. Are you running it, or are you putting a small block Chevy in it? If you're running it, then when you blow it up and toast it, you know, you're not rebuilding a 4.6. Nobody's rebuilding a 4.6. They come in everything. So sell it. Or, you know, you can put it on Marketplace, or find somebody that, you know, is interested in building 4.6s and hook them up. The engine harness, like 98 to 02 Crown Vics, like Simple Solutions, Robbie Crittenden, he buys the harness out of cop cars for Crown Vics. So, you know, that's more money in your pocket. Now, I have my business, clutchmarlesmotorsports.com. Go check it out. We sell t-shirts, we sell decals, but we also, you know, that's part of my car stripping. Like, you know, it's all part of the business. So having a business account, I was able to call the local scrapyard and I was like, hey, I'm going through a lot of steel. Could you guys set a dumpster at my shop? And they're like, sure. you know. And then when we strip cars, everything that's metal, look, we got an exhaust, we got gas tanks, we got cut up frame rails back there. Like everything that we're not using, we just throw it in here, and they'll come pick it up and they'll send me a check. Now, the local scrapyard, my favorite local scrapyard is not open on the weekends. So to go to the scrapyard on the weekends, I have to drive to a different state. Pretty much, it takes pretty much half my Saturday to haul a car off. These people, they're open on the weekdays, but I'm an electrician during the week, so I don't always have time to go to the scrapyard during the week. So what I was doing in the beginning was I would just pile up all the speakers, exhaust, and I would have like a huge pile of steel just sitting in my yard, like springs, all kinds of junk. It looked horrible and kind of made me look trashy. So what I would do is I'd have it piled up, and then when we had a car that we were going to haul off, we would throw it all in the car. Well, it got to a point where I was stripping more people's cars than what I was hauling off. So I would have like 4 car links full of seats and exhaust and just nuts and bolts, and it was looking really bad. Well, if you put the gas tank out of a car and the exhaust and, you know, some springs, it doesn't take much to fill up the truck bed of a Chevy Silverado. So it's like I would fill up my truck bed, but then when I'd haul it off, I'd only make 20 or 30 bucks because I'd have to drive an hour and a half to go to the scrapyard. So having this here, you know, it saves me gas money. Yeah, they do charge a small fee, but it's hassle free. You know, I just call them up. I'm like, yo, the dumpster's full. They bring me a new one and pick this one up. Then I get a check in the mail. So, you know, it's saving miles on my truck. And, you know, I don't have to waste half a Saturday trying to make 50 bucks, you know, just to clean up my yard. And there's no nuts and bolts and all that in my yard right now. This is the end of part 1 on how to make money and save money doing demolition derbies. Stick around for part 2. Here we go.